go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Vickyverse. Tonight on I Kinda Believe, we have Mecha McCheese, Mike Oxmall, Zippy the Unicorn, Lorenzo Sleestack, and Skinny.
Yo.
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight?
How's it going?
Hello.
So I'm going to open the show with a brief interview of a character that a lot of people have been familiar this week. I've been accused of being him. Obviously, I'm not. There's two of us on the screen. How are you doing, Mike Oxmall?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Clearly, we do not sound the same. So I have one question for you.
Sure.
So you're not me. Who are you?
I'm Mike Oxmall.
Well,
Who do you think I am?
Well, I don't want to talk over you because obviously we're two different people.
Mute this man.
Okay, well, don't mute me. So, do you have anything you want to say to Tug? I understand you guys had a kerfluffle earlier.
I've been working on the railroad.
All right, well, you heard it here, folks, on the Paranormal Show, the best show on YouTube. Mike Oxmall and Mecha McCheese on the same screen at the same time. Thanks for coming, Mike Oxmall.
Thanks for joining us, Mike.
You're all welcome. Goodbye.
All right.
Mecca, you're really good. How do you throw your voice like that?
I don't know.
Like a ventriloquist.
Yeah, SS73 says I can throw my voice really well. So I don't know. You guys heard it here first. I think it's two different people. Oh man, I kind of believe that we're two different people. What do you guys think?
I kind of believe.
I kind of believe.
I kind of believe you.
I'm going around on it. I'll give it some consideration.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's dive right in. Skinny, do you want to go first? I got your link.
I got there in the group chat. It's just a brief video, but I kind of wanted to talk about Michele Membe.
Yeah,
pronounce it.
Skinny, you're kind of a resident cryptid expert specialist, aren't you?
Yeah, but today's cryptid is just going to be called Bob, and apparently Bob lives in the Congo River basin. And it's believed that he is a prehistoric dinosaur, typically associated with a plesiosaur, but there have been numerous sightings around the Congo, and that's a lot of wild area too. We don't even know what's all out there.
Wow.
All right. Well, I'm ready to go. And oh, that was quick.
Yeah, that's the only footage I could really find of it. So that's all I got. But it's still interesting that they think that there could be plesiosaurs and whatnot still roaming around out there. I mean, you got to think they got those big ass anacondas and crocodiles too.
Right. I'm trying to scroll on through here and see if we can. Whoops! Don't play.
All the other stuff, I'm worried about us getting flagged like Lorenzo did with Da Vinci.
No Da Vinci, not today. But there he is in the water.
Or it could be Mike Oxman.
All right. I don't want to play the skeptic here, but is it possible that this thing could be an elephant?
In that deep water? No.
I doubt an elephant.
Where is this again? Africa?
It's in the Congo.
In the Congo, okay.
I mean,
think of the movie Congo with a.
Did you say Congo with George Bush?
Yeah, he was in it too.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
I read the book. I never saw the movie.
That movie is hilarious. At one point, all the apes decide that they're going to go crazy and just jump in the lava.
Well, is this an 8?
No, but the movie Congo.
Is that based on a true story?
But yeah, There have been numerous sightings. There's no actual enforcement. Like just shaky cams and blurry nonsense.
Huh.
There
But I
are.
can't
Well, I don't know. I always used to think it was clearly an elephant. And there's somebody.
There are elephants in the Congo. There's African forest elephants, but that might not be the forest though,
What?
unless the forest is on the edge of.
Well, you're our resident reptile like species, Lorenzo. What do you think? You want to weigh in on this?
Well, I'm just saying, there are elephants in the region.
Objection. Dinosaurs aren't reptiles.
They're, no?
I'm not talking about.
They're actually they're more related to birds.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm hearing a lot of echo in the stream.
Yeah, that's some crazy echoing going on.
I am too. It's too loud. I got my headphones.
I got my headphones.
It's skinny.
We don't see any headphones on Skitty.
Yeah. Or his tinfoil hat. He's not
I
wearing his
can't
hat.
believe he doesn't have a hat on. I mean, he has a hat, but not a tinfoil hat.
Yeah, now the echo's gone. Isn't that the weirdest thing?
A bunch of turds. I'll turn mine down some, but I don't think it was me because I was hearing an echo when I muted myself.
All
Well,
right, do we fix
we
that?
can't. We don't want to blame Zippy.
No, I got headphones. They're pretty good.
Yeah, this is his first visit. We can't go blaming shit on him yet.
No,
Yeah, it's usually the third time.
Well, since Zippy is here, Zippy, let me ask you: is it possible that a plesiosaur or a brontosaurus, did they get here the same way that you did? Maybe ended up in the Congo.
They were out here way before I was. My friend and I were just talking about that, about Loch Ness Monster last week.
Really?
Talking about how, they really don't know how deep that is. And there's plenty of place for that thing to hide. So,
Loch Ness, yeah.
yeah. So I'm sure it's in the same ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of people have seen this thing. A lot of sightings and stuff. I can believe it. I don't know. I kind of believe it.
I never heard this one, though.
The Mukule Mbembe?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's Bob.
Robert.
Robert.
It has been purported that he has been asking tourists for the amount of tree fitty.
Tree Fitty?
Tree fitty. That's all he needs.
No, okay.
That's not much to ask for.
No.
Some people think it was Gomera. Dee Dee Willingham says in Japan it must have been Ghidorah. Rodan does Mothra swim? I don't think Mothra swims, actually.
No, Mothra is
Zippy,
a moth. Like,
Zippy, have you seen Mothra in outer space flying around? The last time she made an appearance here, she took off to, maybe you guys ran into each other, exchanged insurance information if you hit each other, maybe.
No, just like, in passing, you like wave and you're like, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's
Keep it going.
But did you ever hook up with the twins?
And we found a cynic, Oscar.
Oscar, she's on my channel a lot. I love her. Let's see. If it's in the Congo, then it's obviously not one of the locals swimming because
That's
Let
a
me
big
also-
ass local. If they
Yeah.
think it's plesiosaur.
could it be two men in one suit?
Yeah, I mean, they
Could
have
be
the
two girls,
Halloween
one cup.
shops in mass in the Congo.
What's that?
They have the Party City shops in mass in the Congo.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they're everywhere. That's true.
Could be 2 girls, 1 cup.
Possible.
Not to that
Oh,
kind
you-
of show, Lorenzo.
You don't want to look at that.
No.
Now, you guys weren't sure if I was Michael Oxmall or not, but I mean, I could throw my voice and pretend to be Zippy too. You guys want to hear my Zippy?
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
No,
I don't want to hear it. I can't deal with
It's
it.
not bad.
I thought it was
It
pretty
just
good.
needs a little bit more bourbon and cigarettes.
I don't sound like that at all. What are you talking about?
I don't sound like that at
That's
all.
the worst imitation ever heard. How do you know I drink bourbon and smoke cigarettes?
I can smell you from here, Zippy.
That's the cigarette in your own hand, sir.
Mr. Dong says the Congo has Gustav the crocodile, but he's real.
Gustav, I never heard that guy either.
You never ran into him in your travels in outer space?
I don't think he goes up that far.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's our, I guess that's our presentation for the cryptid part of the research sector.
Oh, they're gonna say that was the end of the show. I was like, good night. Okay.
All right. So I guess.
It's good
Hey.
to join us.
Hey,
Thanks.
Gotham.
I'm a little late because I'm just waking up from a nap. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna miss it.
Hey,
Disney.
Gotham, what's up, buddy?
Hey, first time talking to you.
Likewise, how you doing, buddy?
Voice to voice. I'm doing all right. How
All
are
right. Oh, not bad.
That's good.
Cool.
So did I
next-
miss anything interesting?
Yeah.
What I missed?
Mike
We gave
Oxford
away
came by
the
earlier.
accounts.
Really?
Yeah.
Some
Did you
of
catch,
it.
and did you catch Skinny's presentation?
No, I missed it.
Don't
Well,
worry,
good.
it would have given you nightmares, buddy.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
So up next is Mecca.
Oh, okay. Let me see what I got here. So, yeah, speaking of Mike Oxmall, as you guys know, he had a little dust up with that umbrella guy. So I took the liberty upon myself to do some research, and I actually found out that umbrella guy has actually been around for a lot longer than he said he was. Can you guys believe that? This dude out there selling a really awful children's book with horrible. Well, I don't want to say that. Well, he's got a book out there, and you might know him as an antagonist of such in our little community. So if we're looking at the video evidence, this is the JFK assassination, and I took the liberty of finding a picture with this yellow circle, so that's how you know where to look. And as we can
I was
see,
unsure.
yeah, I know that's
Took
why.
a picture with a yellow circle.
Yeah. So here's one angle. This is obviously the motorcade.
I thought that was a circle.
No, it's a circle. So as you can see, there's this figure here with the umbrella. Can you guys see my mouse cursor?
Yeah.
Okay. So here he is from this angle, and here's another angle right here. So also, this is one of the few instances in history where a president was assassinated, and this figure shows up here. And I'm going to pull up another picture, which you guys might find hard to believe, but I kind of believe that this is a figure throughout time that's really just there to cause a ruckus and some trouble. So let me pull up my other evidence.
What do they call this man?
The Umbrella Man, actually.
Oh, interesting.
It's not the cigarette smoking man from X Files.
No. I don't know what X Files.
They call him Cancer Man.
Yeah. So
Cancer.
so he was 3 feet away from JFK when he got assassinated, right?
Is that all?
That's just what the thing, So here's an intrepid observer of a historical fact replying to Shoe on Head. He says that umbrella guy was also 3 feet from JFK when he got assassinated. Google it, and you'll see it's the same guy. It may very well be a demon. So, yeah, I think it could be like CIA, gay ops. It could be actually somebody probably goes by the name of Matthew. I can't remember his last name. What was it? Matthew something.
Yeah, Matthew something.
Yeah. I don't want to.
We'll just leave it there.
Yeah. That umbrella guy is 3 feet. So, interestingly enough, if you guys have been paying attention to the news, that umbrella man also showed up in Minneapolis recently.
Yeah, I saw this.
Holy shit! Really?
So you tell me, is there anything to this man traveling through time, offering to sell a comic book, killing the president, and lighting AutoZones on fire in Minneapolis? I don't feel like I'm crazy here. I think I'm onto something.
I kind of believe.
No, I think you're crazy.
I kind of believe that too.
You are from the unicorn. I'm crazy.
There's wisdom in those words. despite where they come from. By
No,
the way, the JFK guy, they're saying like that.
There's a different Matthew. My buddy Matthew in the chat says it's fucking Zelig. I don't know if any of you guys seen that movie, but
Who?
Zelig?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Really?
No.
I think it was a Woody Allen movie.
That's why we don't know.
Yeah, people actually
the only
watch
Woody Allen movie I've ever watched.
Who watches Woody Allen movies?
Didn't they have a special on Amazon?
It's one where he's kind of like a chameleon. He just kind of blends in, and like he stands near a Hasidic Jew, and all of a sudden he's got this beard.
That would be you, Lorenzo.
Hmm.
No, I stick out like a square thumb.
Now, a student in the chat says the Minneapolis riots and JFK assassination are less bad than Tug's comic.
Ooh.
That's a deep cut.
It's pretty bad.
I kind of believe that.
I haven't seen that book, but that's pretty bad. I was gonna say that the umbrella guy in JFK. They were saying that was the guy who was like the signal guy for when people were time to shoot.
Oh.
Did you ever hear that?
No.
Yeah, like he was, because like they wouldn't have allowed somebody to open up an umbrella like that normally. So like he was there as a plant.
Well, okay, so back up on that, Zippy, because I think you're onto something. I don't think that day was raining.
No,
No, it was not.
That might be a vampire.
Is he albino? Maybe that's why he wears his mask.
Maybe it's Michael Jackson.
I think it was still black
Michael
back
Jackson was. I was just gonna say he was still black back then.
I think he hadn't. Actually, he probably wasn't born yet, but I don't know.
Well, let's see. Both Tug and Minneapolis also fucked over a black guy.
Really?
Oh, model.
Oh, wow.
I'm disappearing for that one.
Oh, wow.
That's the one that's gonna get my stream struck.
Oh, no.
It's been nice knowing you.
Nice knowing you all. Good night.
See you in 3 months.
Thanks, model. We know who to blame.
Okay, here's another thing that I'm going to be interested in pointing out. I don't see a single mailbox here.
We had to clear his path somehow.
We need somebody to DM us a photo of the mailbox in here somewhere.
I'll Photoshop it in there for you.
Yeah.
You can post it up on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and, if you guys haven't followed us yet, we have a Twitter account for this wonderful show. It's
This train wreck. Okay.
Ew. It's sad and lonely and needs followers.
Zombie Nomicon has something interesting here. He says during the SHCA investigation, I think that's a racing organization in the summer, Umbrella Man was explained away as an insurance salesman and even brought the umbrella to the hearing with him. Was he 6'8"? Hey there. So you might have heard out of
Hey
this.
there. I'm here to sexually harass you and sell you a book.
Oh, good Lord, Lorenzo.
Have you heard about all my family members I'm going to mention that you're not supposed to harass? Don't harass them. Here's their photos.
Oh, good Lord.
Where the hell did this show go? Have we all been probed?
Here's their photos. Don't pick on them.
Okay,
Where's my address?
What if Tug was aiming for the mailbox and hit Kennedy by accident? What if the motorcade actually did hit the mailbox and it opened up a wormhole and traveled to someplace in Tennessee to land on somebody's house with a bunch of duct tape all over it?
Hey there.
Hey there.
That's not I can't help but talk slowly. Buy my book.
Do you guys? all
My
right, so-
mailbox fell down. Buy my book.
So there's that, and the JFK assassination was obviously a very traumatic time for America. The nation hasn't seen such grief since a sequel to Another Case for Little Umbrellas was announced. This nation, we had the JFK assassination, and then during the coronavirus panic, another umbrella guy unleashes something even worse, the coronavirus, and he releases the comic book, and the two time periods, there's a unique like wormhole like similarity between them. So if he has a portal from the 60s to today to sell a comic book,
I think you're giving this person way too much credit.
Way too much credit. Yeah.
Yeah, way too much.
is it possible he also burned down a AutoZone in Minneapolis?
Nah, that was a. Well, there you go.
So according to Zombie, the insurance salesman with the umbrella had the wrong number of spokes, and the firm he worked for was a front for the CIA.
And operated out of
I didn't know that.
CIA-owned building.
That's interesting.
Well, that definitely knocks out the dude from Tennessee, but
So did the umbrella man testify to HSCA about how he was the victim in Dallas? I mean, obviously, if the president was shot in the head, that umbrella man was the one we should be worried about. Oh, and there's a guy with an umbrella spotted outside of the Wuhan biolab.
Oh boy.
my dad knew the doctor that the surgeon that worked on JFK when he got to the hospital, even though he was dead.
Really?
Yeah. And the guy said that there was just no way that it could have happened the way they said it did.
Yeah, that guy wrote a book.
Yeah.
Was it called Another Case of the Littlest?
I'm not sure, but maybe.
Well, to be fair, Another Case of the Littlest Umbrella wasn't actually written by an umbrella man. So maybe I had that wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of believe that there's something to a time traveling, presidential assassin that also funds bad comic books. And, you're not going to change my mind on this one. I kind of believe that I found this guy, and I also found what he's up to lately. And, if you don't want to get shot in the head, I guess stay away from umbrella men.
Well, since we might as well move. I think we've sort of milked that as far as we can.
I might have got
This
into
is suddenly a Voyager episode. My wormhole.
So the chat still seems to be enjoying it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I kind of believe, I don't know, I've heard crazy theories, and I think there's something to the guy actually being there, and it's definitely suspicious that it wasn't raining and he had the umbrella, so maybe it could have been like a windage thing. Snipers, when they're from long distances, they have, flags that go up with the wind to help them adjust for the Coriolis effect and the wind and stuff like that. And,
It's possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Very, very possible.
So since we're on the subject of CIA, why don't we move into what Mecca decided to give me as my project today, because I did not have enough time this week to do anything.
Well, Ricky, you're kind of our resident expert on old school Hollywood mysteries.
Yeah, apparently now I have become, even though I'm not. But so this is a memo from WRC TV, which is an NBC station, dated August 10th, 1982, out of Washington, D.C., which alleges CIA involvement in Marilyn Monroe's death. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's kind of long. And if you want, DM me. I'll email you. I'll send you the link. We're all good. Or I'll put it in the description, even better. So
the channel right now.
Yeah, I want to see that.
So, but the most important paragraph after we go through here, we get two. Gossip linked Monroe romantically to the Kennedy brothers, and a friend who claims he read the diary said she was about to tell all when she died. That diary, I would say, would contribute greatly to her death. Schulman says the detective theorizes someone in the CIA killed Monroe to keep her quiet. That's at odds with the coroner's report, which said she died from an overdose of sleeping pills, but news stories that a coroner's investigation said he was coerced into signing the death certificate prompted supervisors to call for a new probe. So 20 years later, they wanted to go back and look at it. That an assistant district attorney was reviewing the information in the case, but says that 20 years after Marilyn Monroe's death, it is so stale it would take a huge resources to uncover anything new. Thank you, Heidi Schulman from NBC News Los Angeles.
Heidi, you've been no help whatsoever.
Not enough of a help, but I guess this would be a story pitch.
So they went to the coroner and said, sign this piece of paper for someone who's not dead yet.
They do. I would not be surprised if that happens. This would not be, I don't think that would be an
By the
I
way,
would kind of believe that.
that's right from their website too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
CIA.
I would never go to that website. I don't know what
I got Amanda looking up.
Hey, I got my
Yeah.
VPN. I'm
yeah, I'm sure that helps. Because they didn't create VPN.
Right. Well, you know, that if they want us, they've already got us. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, any .gov you go to, it records your IP automatically.
Well,
Yeah, it
But I
does.
digress.
most of us on the show come equipped with our tinfoil, so it's we're well ahead of the game. And if the CIA wants to get to the bottom of
Okay, never mind then.
So Zippy, does your horn act the same way as our tinfoil? Does it keep them from
No, I have
getting
a
into your
VPN
brainwave?
too.
Zippy sounds like one of Marge Simpson's sisters.
That's not a compliment, sir.
I don't know. Phobic Zeno says she was murdered by sleeping pills because Monroe had no problems with sleeping. She was always sleeping around. Well, we don't want to slut shame her.
I don't think she was sleeping. So retract your statement.
I don't know. Well, so you guys might have not have known, but her actual name was Norma Jean.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of, I don't know, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but she was kind of like the first kind of real big sex symbol in Hollywood kind of thing.
No,
I thought that was Betty Page.
Oh, Betty Page is hot.
Yeah, wasn't she like the real first one?
Not
Well,
really.
she's been notable.
She was
throughout-
sort of underground, though. She wasn't ever really. Well, Betty Page was very underground. That was kind of. Whoops, that was a little loud. Sorry, Pete.
Very classy.
I know. My
Hey, I
Dr.
want-
Pep,
I
my
want
Dr.
one.
Pepper cream soda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want
Kind of
one.
weird.
I don't drink beer out of a can, Zippy.
A can of Perrier.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
cheap.
any good,
Well, Lorenzo, let me hear you weigh on this. Have you ever been interviewed by the CIA yourself when you came here? Were you a
Not
referee?
really. They don't take much interest.
All right.
in me.
Preston keeps screaming Rita Hayworth in the chat, and he is right.
Rita Hayworth, yeah.
Rita Hayworth.
All right, there you go.
Thank God for Rita Hayworth, or we would not have underwire bras.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you very
Damn
much.
you, Rita Hayworth.
I know. Damn it. God damn it. Yeah.
You know, if you want to point a reference and you're kind of a youngin, Marilyn Monroe today is equivalent to like Taylor Swift almost. Just
Mm.
That's not really.
Oh God.
Taylor Swift should be dead by now then.
it's beautiful.
But she tells all in her song.
You failed.
Oh, it's been a long week.
That was so
That's what
bad.
she said.
Yeah. She,
Thank God for that sock on my microphone. I would be.
Get a sock in your microphone.
Who would be a better equivalent? Who's like the big famous female movie star these days? Sex symbol.
They're not allowed to be sex symbols anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Estelle-
But pretend that they were. I mean,
Johansson, probably. Blonde.
Estelle Getty.
Still kidding.
I don't think he's still alive.
Oh,
Betty
okay.
White is though.
Eric Hawkins. Mecca Tay can't hold a candle in the wind, Marilyn Monroe. You're wrong, Eric Hawkins. You're like, I have mod privileges on Vicky's channel. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Time him out.
Yeah, Jean Harlow was the first big blonde sex symbol, and she
Also that.
died in a car accident. I believe she was decapitated.
Oh,
Wow.
in a car.
That's not a way to go.
Not a good
Yeah.
way to go. Well, Hollywood starlets in general, they usually, maybe it's the lifestyle, maybe it's, a lot of other things going on. But
Yeah, somebody said earlier about Mae West.
yeah, Mae West is
Thanks
that
for the correction, Hellrod. It was Jane Russell
Jane Russell. Okay.
for the underwire bra.
Yeah,
Yeah, Howard Hughes designed it for her.
dude wasn't satisfied. with
Elrod, how do you know that?
Probably just a Howard Hughes fan.
Yeah. So, what was that one that's always talked about? The Black Dahlia. Is that Hollywood too?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the biggest murder mysteries.
Really?
Yeah. Well, at least one of the most famous murder mysteries in Hollywood.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the truth. I mean, we uncovered a sinister umbrella plot. Excuse me. We figured out that there's an elephant pretending to be a Loch Ness monster in Africa.
I thought it was two guys in a suit.
Could be, yeah.
So Matthew Rogers says, "Please no." Does that mean Taylor Swift slept with Trump?
Oof, that's
Oh,
interesting.
Oh.
Then
She would have sang about that already.
something like that. And Suka says, "Was there an umbrella guy in the car?" A very good question.
Did he choke her out?
when
with-
Harlow went out, I don't know.
Point to Life Production says, or not the good kind of head. Huh. I wonder
What do you mean? We need more details. Explain yourself.
Yeah,
Not
But
exactly
her
for-
daughter, and I can't remember her name, but she was on Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Jean Harlow,
Ah.
huh.
the dark-haired girl. with the weird
Mariska
name.
Hargitay.
Yeah, the one with the weird name.
Let's
Yep.
see. Mr. Dong says Bendis wrote a comic book about the Black Dahlia called Torso. He gives it a 3/10 and calls it some of his best work. Well, that's really interesting. I think he means Brian Michael Bendis, and 3 out of 10 and his best work is really interesting. I think that's about right for Bendis.
That's damning with faint praise.
Damning with fake friends, yeah. Eric Hawkins colored a 4-issue comic about the Black Dahlia murders that has never been published. I wonder why. Did he get too close to the truth?
That is interesting.
Hmm.
I like
By the way, you were thinking of Jane Mansfield.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm having a really long week and I'm tired. My brain only half works.
Which
Well,
one's Jean Mansfield?
She's the mother of Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah, she's the one that died in the car accident. But they all died mysteriously.
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
all
Harlan
look like
Starwitz
they're
did.
humans.
They all did back then in the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah. Who'd have thought, the poor tire technology and, people just not knowing how to drive real well would lead to so many mysterious deaths.
That's how we learn.
Back in the day, you used to be able to drive by a cop, with a beer in your hand and go, "Hey, how's it going?" It wasn't a big deal back then.
And the officer greets you with a beer in his hand as well.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you spit the beer from each other's mouths into each other's mouths as you passed.
And then they made out.
You had to go there, didn't you, Lorenzo?
All right, I gotta go.
Thanks, Lorenzo.
Bye,
Yeah.
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo just killed the stream.
Well, it's true.
Were you sharing anything tonight, Lorenzo?
Well, I have a video, and I'll have to bring up the link. Well, I put it in the chat, but
We're always waiting for Lorenzo to bring up the link.
no, I put it in the Twitter chat. It's just
That's way too far back.
well, I kind of believe it is, but
Yeah, I
That's where
kind
it
of
is.
believe it is too.
I don't get it.
kind of taking a while for the screen to load. Just not loading.
Oh wait, I found it. This one, the Ark of the Covenant
Yeah.
link. Okay.
So there's different candidates as far as where it could be, but there's a don't want to use the word legend. Let's say kind of a pious tradition within the Ethiopian Orthodox Church that King. There's a verse about King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba in the Bible where they supposedly met up and talked, and they're saying that they, did had sex and had a kid named Menelik who became, I think, he became the leader of the Solomonic dynasty in Ethiopia. Is how the story goes, and he took the Ark of the Covenant out of the temple, out of Solomon's temple, according to the story, and took it to Ethiopia.
Lorenzo, the video is 9 minutes long. Should I start anywhere in particular?
Start at the beginning.
We're not gonna play the whole thing. We can't do that. Well, I
Yeah.
guess we could. We'll
let's-
just pause it somewhere along the way.
I'll
Before
come
we
back
do
in 9
that,
minutes.
Before we
Yeah.
do that, I got the link for I kind of believe Twitter. So if you have better evidence than we do, send us a DM. We'll show it during the show and give us a follow. And sometimes I'll do giveaways of gift cards and such through that. So
I kind of believe that people have better evidence.
Zeppy, come back.
All right. So
Where'd he
here we
go?
go. Let's go ahead and get this started.
Every month, thousands of worshippers in the Ethiopian
It's very
Orthodox
quiet.
Church gather in their holiest city, Aksum, for the
Mm.
Nihilila Thanksgiving celebration. The focal point, hidden beneath a red velvet canopy and never revealed, is a revered object called a tablet, a replica of the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible's Old Testament says God commanded the Ark to be built to contain the tablets recording his 10 commandments. But the Ark disappeared from Jerusalem after the destruction of King Solomon's temple. Ethiopians say it was brought to their country by Menelik, the son of Queen Sheba and King Solomon. The Ark's existence and location has intrigued scholars, archaeologists, and Hollywood. But the faithful gathered here are convinced that the Ark of the Covenant rests in Aksum. Christianity arrived in Ethiopia around 1700 years ago, and almost half the population belongs to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. The tablet is carried back to the chapel of St. Mary Zion. The church believes the object's importance cannot be exaggerated.
It is still the most holiest and respected object as it is. It is the most precious object in history. It's something that has been used by God for the communication of the people, between his people and himself. The manifestation of God always occurred around the ark.
This man is the guardian of the Ark. He never leaves the chapel grounds, and only he may see the mysterious relic hidden behind the curtain of the Holy of Holies.
Poor guy.
Before he dies,
Never
Guardian
gets
will
to
choose a
leave.
successor from the monks of St. Mary Zion.
Can you imagine never being able to leave? That's dedication.
Insane.
And I think there might be two St. Mary of Zion churches because there was one that Emperor Haile Selassie built. There's a church he built, and then I think there was a previous church, and I can't remember which one. It says to house the ark.
Interesting. Shall we keep going with the video? Or is... Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
The Guardian isn't allowed to speak publicly, and his representative adds to the mystery.
I'm laughing because if I say I've seen the Holy Ark of the Covenant, this means I've opened it. This is not a simple thing. To see the Ark needs further education. Nobody has seen it, apart from the Guardian.
The Aksumite story of the Ark is contained in a historic book. Menelik takes the Ark from the temple. Holding the chest, he crosses the Red Sea, but a wall of water stops King Solomon's troops. Queen Sheba awaits the Ark's arrival in Aksum. Menelik and the Ark enter the city in triumph. When Aksum was later destroyed by enemies, the Ark's guardians are said to have taken it to an island on Lake Tana. They only returned it to the rebuilt city several hundred years later. Aksum is the cradle of Ethiopian civilization, with obelisks predating the Christian period, but only this one remaining intact. A bigger one, weighing more than 100 tons, was taken away by Italian leader Mussolini's colonial troops in 1937, and Ethiopia wants it back. Aksum was formerly a trading center between Africa and Asia. Its markets displayed gold, ivory, incense, and spices. Now its long Christian heritage attracts worshippers from all over the country and a few from abroad. The devotion of ordinary Ethiopians to their religion and to the Ark is evident.
As a Christian, I'm very happy the Ark of the Covenant is annexed. And I'm very proud that I'm part of the population and Christian.
This is Tana Kirkos Island, which in the Aksumite version of the story is where the Ark was hidden before being returned to the city.
Did we just find Skinny's cryptid? Maybe.
How did we get here?
I kind of believe.
They say that Menelik and High Priest Azariah brought the Ark directly here from Jerusalem. The island's only inhabitants are these few monks whose lives are dedicated to the Ark.
According to the story I have from my grandparents and their grandparents, Menelik and Azariah brought the Ark of the Covenant from Jerusalem to here in 4518 BC. There were no buildings, and they were keeping it in an empty area. And there, they offered sacrifices for the Ark of the Covenant.
Sacrifices to tree fitting.
Sacrifices are always important. I think we've hit enough of that. I don't think we're going to tell us much more.
You know, at the beginning of the video, there were all those guys with umbrellas. You remember that?
Yeah. God, everything's just tying together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did we?
That's how you
sacrifice Zippy?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Disappeared earlier.
Oh,
Zippy!
Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry.
You know, that has a habit of happening on our show, Zippy. Were you abducted by aliens?
No, I just hit the wrong button and went to go get a drink.
Oh, okay.
I kind of believe.
Yeah. We've actually lost about 5 or 6 different people that used to.
Oh, people like to get drinks, I guess.
Yeah, they just never come back. So Lorenzo, what was that all about? I mean, give us the skinny on this.
Give us the skinny. I can't do that. I don't think Skinny wants that.
Oh.
You can't just give me away. I have to.
Yeah.
I'll take him. I'll take Skinny.
To be sacrificed to a Sleestak god.
I mean, what was the point of that video?
I don't know. I don't know. No, it's
That clears it up.
It's So I mean, I kind of gave you guys the summary at the beginning, all the way up to Haile Selassie. I can't remember. So from Menelik to Haile Selassie, there were Menelik the First. Haile Selassie was the Solomonic dynasty ruled in Ethiopia, and then the communists overthrew them. I mean, there may have been a time when the Solomonic dynasty lost power, but then they were restored to power, and now the communists went and destroyed them. But it still started with this guy who supposedly stole the Ark of the Covenant. Supposedly the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba stole the Ark and brought it to Ethiopia. And, you know, if there's a lot of these traditions, a lot of these Old Testament traditions, not only are there Ethiopian Jews, but within the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, there's also a lot of these traditions, like a lot of the instruments that are mentioned in the Psalms are still used by both the Jews and the Ethiopian Orthodox. Use these really ancient instruments, and they have every Orthodox church, every Ethiopian Orthodox church, I should say, has a replica of the Ark of the Covenant in it.
Can you fund the Ark of the Covenant on Indiegogo?
Probably.
I don't think you can even find it on Google Maps.
What was Solomon and Sheba's son's name?
Supposedly
Jimmy?
Menelik?
I thought it was Matthew.
Lik.
Lik. Okay.
I think so.
Well, that's pretty.
And then there was a second emperor. I think, and I believe that was right before Haile Selassie, or a couple emperors before him was named Menelik II.
Doesn't the Bible say it was taken to Mount Nebo or something like that?
Yeah, I think it says. So I don't know if it was stolen from there or what. There's also that story about the Freemasons having the Ark of the Covenant, but I don't know why it wouldn't have been taken much earlier than that.
Yeah, they would have had to get it from somewhere else.
Because Darkspawn mentions that he thought it was buried, or he or she thought it was buried, or they thought it was buried in Nova Scotia's Oak Island by the Freemason Templars. So there is that tradition too. Is that in Scotland? Oh, Nova Scotia. Canada.
No, it's New Scotland.
It was supposedly in Scotland, and then, like, according to one tradition, but then again, it could be taken. Of course, Nova Scotia, isn't that like? Doesn't that mean like New Scotland?
That's what I just said.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been taken from Scotland to Nova Scotia, but I don't know why the Freemason Templars would take it.
That's in Canada, though.
To Canada, yeah. I don't know why they would take it to Canada instead of.
Darn Canadians.
I mean, it would make sense to take it to Scotland, but Canada wouldn't have been a country at that time. We're talking about like hundreds or even over 1,000 years ago or something.
It's in a warehouse in Groom Lake. That's interesting. Why would a UFO testing facility have the Ark of the Covenant?
Why wouldn't they?
It's got powers, man.
That's a good point, actually.
Right? As Indiana Jones showed us, it does melt your face off. So it has special powers.
Spoilers, I didn't see that yet. No, I'm kidding.
Apparently, when you join the Freemasons, they give you an umbrella, too.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah. Really? I didn't know that at all.
It comes
they
from
probably stole that from the Christians.
Well, they got from their motto, rain or shine.
Oh.
Oh, I thought that was the Postal Service.
That's what I was going to say, USPS.
That's what they want you to think.
That figures.
That's where the post office got it from. They're all
so my postman is the Freemason?
most likely, yeah.
Illuminati.
Learn the handshake when you see him next time. If he acts weird, he's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's just part of the game. You got to go with it.
Yeah.
So Zippy, this is your first appearance.
Matthew
on
Rogers said the Freemasons are Umbrella Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Zippy, this is your first appearance on I Kind of Believe. How did our show come into your radar?
That's my last appearance too.
Oh, come on.
Get
Zippy,
out.
you love us.
We're not letting you go.
Sorry to
Zippy.
hear that.
So
You're
usually,
the most fun Friday night show.
I'm sorry, that was supposed to be in my head. I wasn't supposed to be out loud.
how did you find us? Do you have a spaceship of some sort that has a tracking beacon for?
It's called Twitter.
For outlets of truth, perhaps.
I kind of believe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I tweeted something about Operation Mockingbird last week.
Ooh,
Or
tell us
the
about
week.
that.
Ooh.
And Skinny said, "Oh, you should come on and maybe talk about this."
All right.
Because he came to us saying that you wanted to come on the show.
I am a
It
bit
sounds like
skeptical about
Skinny
this
just
one
wanted
story.
to come.
I was recruited.
Yeah, he was recruited.
But wait a second. How does a unicorn use Twitter?
How does this
It's
least
voice to
It's called a
text.
computer.
No, I got fingers.
Voice to
Not a
text,
finger, okay.
Lorenzo. Voice to text.
That sounds good too.
I just wondered if
Do you type-
there's if like your unicorn horn has some sort of magical powers to move keys on the keyboard, or
Do you type with the horn?
No, I use my hands.
yeah,
Your
man.
hands.
But yeah,
The end.
I'd leave it at that.
Huh.
well, next
that,
time
mo-
you come,
that Mockingbird post, that was a guy, he was a reporter from Fox News, or he used to be, and he said, I'm going to paraphrase, he said before he left, somebody told him that all of the major alphabet agencies have a person at all the major networks, whether they're on payroll or not.
I'd believe that.
And he said it didn't surprise him, but he was curious that somebody actually admitted that to him.
I kind of believe. Did you hear about there was a time that during the drug war, which is still kind of going on, that there's these networks that were getting they were actually getting money from the government, but then the government had to like pre-approve the scripts to their show or something. Do you remember hearing about that? I can't remember which network that was, but one of the major what used to be a major network, those old TV networks.
Something like WB.
No, like ABC, NBC, CBS.
No, I know they do approval, pre-approval for movies and TV shows. They have a CIA has a whole department for that.
Well, I kind of believe because it would make a lot of sense, but however, Hollywood does get things right. Like they do have unicorns, and they do have slee stacks occasionally in movies. I guess that was just one movie with the slee stacks.
Thanks to the wonders of Wikipedia, which occasionally gives you little gems. There was during the Church Committee, which was published in 1976. The report concluded that the CIA currently maintains a network of several hundred foreign individuals around the world who provide intelligence for the CIA at times, attempt to influence opinions through the use of covert propaganda. And for U.S.-based media, the report says approximately 50 of the agency assets are individual American journalists or employees of U.S. media organizations. Of these, fewer than half are accredited by U.S. media organizations. The remaining individuals are non-accredited freelance contributors and media representatives abroad. More than a dozen U.S. news organizations and commercial publishing houses formally provide cover for CIA agents abroad. A few of these organizations were unaware they had provided this cover. Well, if they don't know now. So, yeah, 1976. And that's a long time ago.
That was Frank Church had those hearings. He
Yep.
was a senator from Idaho. He died in a plane crash. Wink,
Yep.
wink.
Oh,
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That sounds kind of suspicious. Was it a private plane?
I believe so. Yeah.
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 They have
that's quite common for these private planes to crash. That's a good way, like, for them to.
I mean, they're not above taking down a whole airliner anyway to get rid of somebody.
True.
Yeah, I mean, even
But
like
yeah,
former
that was
CIA
supposedly
agents have
that's what they
admitted
call a limited hangout. If you guys know what that is,
No.
that's like where they tell you a little bit of information, and then you're kind of fixated on that, but they probably give you about 5% of what's really going on.
So kind of
Yeah.
send you down the rabbit hole on your own without much effort.
Mm.
You know, the church committees. The church committee exposed like the whole thing with like J. Edgar Hoover, and there was a counterintelligence program, or COINTELPRO, which was designed to go after different activists, and I think to discredit them or get them to do stupid things so they get arrested. Like agent provocateurs. But then there was also J. Edgar Hoover was also tapping a bunch of people's phones, and it used to be that there were the rules against a law against wireless surveillance, but now there's something called the National Security Agency that monitors everybody's emails, supposedly.
Yeah, now they don't have to tap our phones. Now everything just runs through computers and they just save it all.
Yeah, and the Senate just voted to allow the FBI to go and just look at our internet history.
That's everything. It's like your emails, your phone calls, your texts. It's all going out to a nice big building that Hope collapses out in Utah.
Christ, everything's
I definitely
connected.
believe in this.
Wolf Blitzer at CIA. I think he's actually Mossad there. Model 316.
I don't know what he
So
was, but
Marilyn
I think,
Monroe was sleeping with both JFK and Bobby, who was wiretapping in the Project Mockingbird wiretapping operation. See?
And he got to the office to do that writing Mkula Mbimbe.
Wow.
And he,
I didn't know that.
I thought it was an elephant.
I thought it was two guys in a costume.
It may have been.
Well, I gotta say, it's better than the. Oh, it was Mike Oxball now.
Who knows?
Do you see your cock is small now? I did not know that. I kind of believe.
Well, that brings us to our next presentation.
I would never say that.
Lorenzo wants to talk to us about how his shark class.
I'm proud of what I got.
I don't know anything about sharks. They just happen to identify as scalies, just like
Cartilages.
reptilians.
Cartilages.
Are sharks scaly though?
They're kind of
Well,
scaly.
for the purposes of the furry community, they're put in their own category.
Do you think furries are like a CIA gay op?
category, along with like reptilians and?
Do you think furries are like a CIA gay op / culture war kind of thing?
Well, I think
where-
what happened was they started out with fans of R. Crumb and his Fritz the cat.
Mhm. And
I don't know how,
There we go again.
there's a faction that's become really politically correct, but I don't. It was actually started off as people who wanted more sex and violence and like anthropomorphic animal cartoons.
Hmm.
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 Is that on Wikipedia?
No,
I think it was actually.
Mm.
Gotham
Like
Knight.
that.
I think he had something he was working on for a while now. Did you have your Bruce Lee presentation ready, Gotham, or are you saving that for another?
Probably saving that down the road for something else.
You want to give us a little trailer preview for it?
Probably not.
Well, he was talking. Gotham Knight was talking to me about this behind the scenes. I was helping him research it.
Yeah, there's some weird things, some people want to say that it was a family curse, and other people have other ideas, but a lot of people more and more are saying that, like the whole Bruce Lee thing, might have had to do with he died from heat stroke, and that because I didn't know this about him, but he supposedly had his sweat glands removed from underneath his armpits.
What?
And that was part of what kind of contributed to him dealing with heat stroke, because I guess whichever picture it was, the movie that they were shooting last and that he was doing, it was really hot and then he ended up complaining, he was tired and stuff, and he went to his mistress's home and then took a pain reliever, and then of course never woke up.
Oh, so that's how he died? Because I know his son got shot. He died of heat stroke.
Yeah, there's a lot of people still kind of speculate dealing with the whole, Bruce, the family curse thing, and because of I guess supposedly too, there's reports that Bruce Lee actually dreamt about his own death as well as his son's death. So it's hard to really know for sure.
There's no family curse. He removed his sweat glands. End of story.
Why would
He's retarded.
Well, yeah, but then you got to wonder about the whole, Brandon Lee dying in that accident, when he was shooting the Crow movie.
I think he died the same way, actually. Sweat gland removal.
So, it's just one of those things that everybody likes to speculate about. But some of it does kind of seem to be true, because I guess for a time his parents did, have Bruce Lee go by a girl's name, and that to supposedly ward off the family curse or whatever. But again, it's just a whole bunch of stuff to really kind of look more deeper into than that.
Oh, okay. I hope you got some evidence and stuff to show us, because that sounds really interesting, actually.
Yeah, show your work.
Yeah, after I deleted it all.
You deleted it all?
No,
Did the CIA pay you?
Yeah, they came in and said, "You know what? Don't be talking about Bruce Lee, or we'll have to kill you."
We're gonna.
Is that how they talk?
I don't know.
I received a DM from Hero Shack
Ooh.
while we were engaged in all of this, and I'm going to go ahead and share this real quick. Yeah, breaking news, everybody. We are tying some more shit together, let me tell you. All right. So here we go. This is from the riots up in Minneapolis. But wait, everyone. This is important. Look what we have here.
There he is.
Pizza Box Guy and Umbrella Man.
Really?
Together at the riots.
Wow.
Just got to whip that all together. Yes,
Wow.
indeed. There
believe.
they are. I kind of believe.
I kind of believe that too.
If Eric Hawkins is in the chat, is there any update on the guy who went on a date with Sasquatch? That's what I was.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting story.
I haven't heard from him, actually. I reached out to him for an interview, and he just started talking about, the snail trail that Miss Sasquatch had left behind, and how he was going to go out there and talk to her, and okay. And
That's a story that my entire week has been hinging on.
Yeah.
And
Chris-
he's just going to leave us hanging about it, too.
Yeah. Hero Shack
Yeah.
says he's been all over the riots, and we do not know if his arms are duct taped, actually. We assume he's used it on the mailbox himself.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's something else. I'll tell you what. Well, we had quite a few interesting topics tonight, guys.
Yeah.
So now I guess it's time to decide what we're going to cover for next week.
Yeah, Vicky, if you wouldn't mind sharing my screen, I have the Twitter set up, and I think it's causing some confusion.
That's because you dump the polls out there without them having any labels.
Right.
A, B, C, and D is just not the easiest way to go about this thing here.
Well, here's my thinking. I put up 4 topics, right? So if you want, this is for our audience to suggest a topic. So, for example, if you want to talk about the Denver airport conspiracy, you just put A equals Denver airport conspiracy. That way, we don't have to decide. It could be suggested. So if you wanted to talk about Loch Ness Monster next week, you just simply go B equals Loch Ness Monster.
You make this way too complicated.
Yeah.
It's kind of convoluted.
We should just ask the chat, throw us out some suggestions, and then we'll put it up on a poll. The poll will be up for 24 hours, right?
Yep.
Have any of you guys been to that Denver airport?
Yes, I have been to the Denver airport.
That's creepy as shit.
It is creepy. It's all dark.
You remember the guy who was tapping his shoe, picking up the illicit sex with the other guy?
What the fuck are you talking about, Lorenzo?
Which bathroom was that in?
Oh, goodness.
Why do you want to know?
Are you trying to? Yeah, okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with fancy.
He's trying to make an appointment.
Just, I'm just saying it happened.
Vicky, did you give this show a name, by the way? Last week we did Brazilian Boogaloo.
Yeah, last week we did Brazilian Boogaloo.
So this week could be like Watching Out for Rain, maybe.
All right.
For the all umbrella talk we did. Well, I got the topics loaded up. We'll call this. We'll hashtag this thing. Watching Out for Rain, maybe. That way we could refer to it. And this was Vicky versus channel. I kind of believe. And we
you gotta fix her name there.
Yeah. Vicky Cersei.
Vicky Cersei.
That's her alias.
That's me.
Vicky, I kind of believe. And we'll refer to this next week when we bring up our. We can refer to it throughout the week. But I'm open. So we were talking about the Denver airport conspiracy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think I'll cover that because I actually met my ex-wife in the Denver airport.
That's why she's your ex-wife.
That's right.
Is that the one that's designed to look like teepees and it's supposedly...
There's a lot of weird stuff. I know exactly where to find
You met her in the airport?
Yes, I did.
Did you know that she was CIA then? Or you wait until the divorce to tell her you knew?
She waited to find it. She waited till... Yeah. Anyway, now we got...
I used to know somebody...
crazy, man, if you know about that.
Yeah, the demonic looking horse. Maybe you could help me cover that since you know about horses.
No, not just about the stuff. I'm talking about the stuff underground too.
Yeah. And it looks like a bra too, actually, an underwire one, with how the tents are set up over the thing.
It all comes full circle.
Full circle, yeah.
Fairies of Cottingley.
I don't know that one.
Anybody interested in covering?
Sounds
that?
like a gay comic book.
I could cover fairies. If somebody votes for them, I'll cover the fairies of Cottingley.
All right, I'll put it on the poll.
Huh.
What's that about? I don't know. Heard of this.
Well, guess we'll find out.
No, I want to know now. I'm not going to come back next week.
I wonder if
Bean wants us to talk about the fake moon in fake space.
Yeah, that one would probably get us.
Fake moon.
That would get us striked up.
That's no moon. That's a Death Star.
We could do the Death Star.
That was something that Zach was interested in. But,
Bean, do you think that we're in the Matrix simulation?
We kind of touched on that before, actually.
What was the conclusion?
We all kind of believe.
Yeah, we all kind of believed it.
Yeah, leaning toward yes. Okay.
We don't take strong stances like that on this show, you know.
Hence the name of the show. I kind of.
I
don't want to say full force, but I don't want to give it my all. I just kind of feel.
Yeah.
He wants us to cover the moon landing. I think that's reasonable.
That didn't happen.
All right, and we got room for one more. Nuka-Levi, a pagan horse god monster? Or have him admit he is Nuka-Levi?
James, I don't know who that is, so I can't admit to that. But carry on.
Robot Mechanic says the government was trying to nuke the moon. I believe there's some truth to that, actually.
Oh, I know about that one. That was insane.
Yeah. How did you stop him, Zippy?
Magic. All the answers, it's magic. Whatever you want to answer.
We got one more.
People. I don't know, Darkspawn. We already took one of your suggestions. Remember, you get two bites at the apple.
Yeah.
You start your own show, buddy.
If nobody else is fighting it.
Somebody else has to. Come on.
Oh God.
What is the Canadian Triangle? Does anybody know?
Never heard of it.
I think it's shaped like a maple leaf.
Probably.
End of story.
Is it like the Bermuda Triangle, where shit just disappears?
It's just a bit strange, eh?
Yeah.
How about triangles?
You know, you go into Timmy's, they get your order wrong.
Is the Bermuda Triangle a sex reference?
No.
That's only if you have a class for it.
Somebody says the Shaq Harbor crash, the Shaquille O'Neal Harbor crash.
You want to talk about crash to Flight 800?
Okay.
That was the one the Malaysian one?
No, the TWA Flight 800 up in New York.
Oh, yeah.
The Bigfoot Village?
There's no comedy in that story, though. If that's what you're mining for.
Oh, okay. Tarsik explains it's an area in Canada where people disappear and never found. That sounds good. Canada Triangle.
Canada Triangle. We got 4.
And of course, we're always going to add more stuff throughout the week. And I think Skinny's our resident cryptid guy, so expect that. But let's see what gets the most interest here. And it's something we could just refer to back if we forget during the week, too. And feel free to suggest stuff on this Twitter. So I'll go ahead and put this up. Guys, go check out our Twitter at I believe kinda. It's the official account for this this show. There's Bigfoot riding a Loch Ness there, and I drew the amazing art for this. That's Sam the Squan, the motto or mascot for the show. Very ugly. And so that was interesting discussion tonight. A lot of stuff.
Where'd you take that Bigfoot picture from?
My ex-wife took that of me, actually. That was the moment she told me it was over.
That's how she's flipping you off.
Damn.
I like when Mitch Hedberg said that Bigfoot could be blurry. You know, maybe Bigfoot's just blurry.
That's the resident stance of I kind of believe. We don't look for them very hard in Canada. What's he talking about?
The Canadian Triangle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mr. Dongs also says Prince Philip is confirmed God on the island nation of Vanuatu. That's interesting. And Point of Light Production says there's a Bigfoot village.
Cheyenne 70, you must have just got here. We already talked about that. Hello and goodbye.
Oh, looks like we got a vote for the Denver airport conspiracy.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
All right, I have to
put
share
Michael
that too.
Oxball on the poll. Okay.
I think he'd
You
like
can
that.
only have 4. Gosh darn.
That's a question.
Mike Oxball would like that whole thing a little too much.
Yeah, he does seem like a bit of an attention whore.
He does. He does. You
Yeah.
beat up Tug once in a live debate, and all of a sudden you let it go to your head, you know?
Yeah. I guess he was the master debater.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if I could just add another poll to this.
You could do another poll.
Let's have a poll about which poll.
Yeah. Which poll do you want to really vote
You
on?
can pick, whichever top 2 topics from the 2 polls, and that gives us 4. We can split it, share it around.
And not Oxmal poll either.
Not an Oxmal poll. No.
No.
Get my name off of there.
Now, has anyone put the link in the chat?
Yeah, I should have. Sky trumpets.
I have no idea what a sky trumpet is.
Oh, I know what that is.
No clue.
That's like I think that's about like things you're hearing when it's kind of like announcing the apocalypse. When you're gonna start hearing them in the sky.
You're like, oh man, we're toast. Goodbye, world.
Well, people have like reported that they've heard them. Still don't know what that fairies is about, but somebody do a report on that because I won't.
Fairies are actually evil.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything's evil.
Well, so are mermaids usually. They're supposed to be considered evil too.
They lure men to their death, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we got more votes here.
I thought those were sirens, not mermaids.
Well,
mermaids are sirens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mermaids are hot. Sirens are not so hot. Trust me, I know.
You watch
I met him
Flash, you know.
I met him in the Denver airport before.
She was happy. She was happy.
Phobic Xeno says Canada sounds like a silly place.
It is.
It is. It's Canada.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Like
Don't they have like a loon on the back of their dollar or on their coins?
They invented hockey, though, so, I got to give it to them for that.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
good.
basketball.
And basketball.
But mostly hockey.
Do you know who invented it, Vicky? Basketball? Give me a name.
Oh God, it just left me.
Don't look at your Wikipedia.
I'm not.
Naismith.
Naismith, yeah. I was
James
getting
Naismith.
Smith, but
Didn't he
like the
use,
rest
like
of it
a fruit
wasn't coming.
basket or something.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Then they used to like poke people in the ass with a pen just to be mean to the players.
I never heard that, sir.
Anyone read about this?
What is up with you, Lorenzo?
I don't know. I thought that was basketball. There's it used to be a soccer game where if one of the team members would be decapitated at the end of the game.
That was the Aztecs.
I don't remember if it was like the coach of the losing or the winning team.
I'm pretty sure that was the Aztecs, wasn't it?
It sounds like a movie.
I think so.
Yeah. It was more like highlight, where you had to get the ball through like these big stone rings that were set up around the arena. I don't know if you've ever seen highlight. So they use like these basket things to toss the balls, and then it involved decapitation.
Damn.
Oh, cool. So that's where basketball came from.
No, that's where lacrosse came from.
Wait, I thought lacrosse was a North American native game.
I think it's France. It's lacrosse.
It was like
That's what I heard.
But it's more like early lacrosse than it is like anything
LaCroix?
else.
That's LaCroix.
LaCroix.
LaCroix. Come on.
Wow.
He makes pretty clothes.
LaCroix is complete dog shit, by the way.
Yeah.
It tastes like
This show is sponsored by LaCroix.
I don't know why all these sparkling water, sugarless drinks are popular, but all y'all probably eat ass because that's probably what it tastes like. If you
LaCroix tastes like somebody's memory of what something tasted like.
Yeah, it's like you're drinking the spit of an old person as they're cleaning their dentures.
How do you know what that tastes like?
Yeah.
The flavored Crystal Geyser in the 80s was pretty good though.
Yeah, until they fucked it up.
Until they fucked it up. I might just stick with regular old mineral water I get the Mexican one from the market.
La Perriere.
No, I have no idea what it's called.
Do you remember Clearly Canadian?
Yes.
That was good stuff.
Looks like we got some votes coming in. Eric Scott Hawkins had a couple votes as a top.
I voted 7 times.
I believe that. I believe that.
I kind of believe. But thanks everyone for coming in tonight. We kind of threw this together last minute.
Wait. Lacrosse is their official sport. I don't believe that. I do not believe that.
I kind of believe it is.
I kind of don't.
He was an Eastern Woodland.
How's it not hockey?
It's a sport that the Eastern Woodlands, some of the Eastern Woodlands tribe played.
Say that again.
Lorenzo's being abducted.
He just beamed himself out.
He did.
It was in Eastern Woodlands.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say hockey is the official sport of Canada. That's all. Good night.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it is. It is a native North American native game.
You just looked that up.
No, I actually knew it because I watched lacrosse.
No, you don't.
I watch college lacrosse. Yes, I do.
I believe
There's even like big, huge controversy between using the traditional wooden sticks and fiberglass ones, and the girls aren't supposed to use the women's lacrosse aren't supposed to use the wooden ones because
That guy should be how often does she
I know this stuff, Vicky. I know my lacrosse.
You're watching men's lacrosse and you slow-mo it down.
I watch the ladies lacrosse too.
I believe you, Vicky.
They're different. The games are different.
I listen to women's tennis.
I watch women's tennis.
No, I just listen to
those
it.
little flippy skirts. Occasionally you get a flash of
yeah.
ass. The women's tennis is totally worth it.
All that vigorosity.
Yep.
I prefer volleyball. But
That's pretty good.
Beach volleyball, not regular volleyball. The
Of
beach
course.
volleyball. Yeah.
especially in person. It's amazing.
Oh.
Oh, Lorenzo's back.
Oh no.
Lorenzo.
Do I sound any better?
You sound way better.
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, most of my TV watching is sports. So,
Put that in the chat. Put that on the poll.
I have a weird, awkward story where, like, I spent the night at one of my friends' houses, and like we were in Cub Scouts and everything, and like I woke up the next day and I go and I hang out in the living room, and his dad just comes in there and he puts on like beach volleyball, and I'm like 9 or 10 at that point, and he just like looks at me. He's like, "We're probably both watching this for the same exact reason." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess this is how that conversation's going." It's really weird.
He's like, I'm gonna make you a man today.
Like the first time an adult looked at me, he's like, "You looking at them titties?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." I think they were also religious, so I think he's testing to see if I was gay.
9 or 10.
But if he leaves the room, then I will know.
They're pretty
Gets up, I gotta go
thorough
home.
in the Bible.
I thought curling was Canada's official sport, says Bean. What the hell is curling?
Curling
That's
is the
when they
thing
have
with the
it.
brooms on the ice, and
Push a
got
big
that
stone.
They push the stone down the ice. It's
Yeah.
just, it's
Yeah,
boring.
Stone with the
and
came
it
up with
is,
the idea too.
it is the most played sport during the Winter Olympics on television. It is. It's
You're gonna get a
always
gold medal for
on.
it.
They should just make the winners beat the shit out of the losers, and then people might actually tune in.
You gotta use your broom to the death at the end.
I'm so sorry, Larry. Was that voluntary or did they make you play?
I thought Larry was supposed to come on the show.
Grade school. He still does it. What are you talking about?
Isn't curling kind of like shuffleboard but on ice?
No.
With brooms.
Yeah, or kind of like hockey but with brooms. You're just you're advancing this. It's not a puck, but what are the what is it that they use?
The stone.
It's a big stone.
Yeah, they use a stone, and then they advance it across the ice to the other side of the, what do they call it, arena or rink or
rink?
A nest.
It's rink.
I don't think they have a nest.
How long ago did you leave the nest, Lorenzo? Were you hatched?
I left after I was not long after I was a hatchling, so I don't really remember
So
much
you did
about the
hatch.
Land Lost. I just know that why humans aren't. This show is a perfect example of why the humans are not allowed in Land Lost.
We try to omelet your ass.
Or are you scared that we're going to introduce the Olympics to the Land of the Lost?
Curling?
Land of the Lost soon called to a bunch of Canucks and some boots and sticks.
The climate is so warm that you would have, at least where I lived in Land Lost, I don't know how you get all that ice there.
Sure. Yeah, refrigeration would be an issue.
Yeah.
You know, with we reptilians aren't all that fond of ice.
Why?
You know, unless it's like.
Why?
Speaking of, I kind of believe somebody in the chat is saying DC is better than Marvel and CG and all these other things, and I kind of believe that too.
Yeah, that's Troll McNally.
Yeah.
That's Troll McNally. He's a hell of a man right there. Hell of a man.
Yeah, I kind of believe he's right. And he's
I
believe that too.
Yeah. One of the greatest gentlemen I've ever come across, actually.
I thought that. Well, I don't know. DC kept a certain guy there for, was it 26 years, or maybe he wasn't there the whole time. But
well, they kept him because he was the most humble, elegant, eloquent man they ever met.
They totally didn't put him on a bunch of books because he was regularly late on everything.
Someday he's going to draw an Umbrella comic book, and then we'll truly have the Black Laugh.
I will have
it's kind of weird how early CG seemed kind of lenient on DC. I mean, they were always going against Marvel, SJW Marvel.
Well, DC's always been the bomb, Lorenzo. I keep all my comics in the 4-drawer legal size filing cabinet. DC's on the bottom because, like, if I put them up top, it would just make the whole damn thing too top heavy. Like, it's 3-1 on Marvel books. DC is the shit.
Yeah.
I love my DC books.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, what a show we had tonight, guys.
This was incredibly fun.
There was something.
It was definitely something as well. Yeah.
Make sure everyone you vote in the poll for next
Thanks
week.
for having me on, by the way.
No, thanks for joining us, Zippy. We
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
You can check out, but you can never leave.
That's where you live. Comic California.
Yeah, Matt Rogers, or AKA Matt, Mr. Matt or Mr. Raven, he was talking about that in the chat. He was quoting Hotel California.
That's cool. I like Mr. Matt.
Yeah.
Mr. Matt is cool.
Mr. Matt is cool.
He's cool.
Lorenzo and Gotham and Vicky, nice to talk with you, by the way, for the first time.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it was nice. Very fun.
pleasure
We'll have
talking
to
you.
come back.
I've seen you in chat before.
What's that?
I've seen you a lot in chat. I've seen you in a lot of the chats.
Oh, yeah, I get around.
That's
actually talking to
not
them.
something to brag about.
I would brag about it.
Well, yeah.
It's going to be my epitaph. What are you talking about?
It's all good. you hang out with Doug Tenable, so that's awesome.
Yeah, he's my good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where we first saw you. I think was on Doug Tenable's show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw you.
Oh,
I missed
shit,
the puppet show, so you got to get back in there.
I just got the best news ever.
That might be coming back soon.
Yeah.
Good. Miss all that.
Yeah.
You had good news to share, Skinny, or were you just?
Well,
Yeah?
it's good for me. My vacation, the last day of my vacation is actually going to be tomorrow, but I see that on the next week, I still got the first 2 days off. So, woo!
Yeah, cool.
Nice. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Mecca, you can be found at.
You can find me at McCheese Mecca on Twitter and my channel Jalapeno Milk, where I just stir up as much shit as I possibly can. And yeah, check that out. Probably get back to my morning shows on Monday. I'm in the middle of a move, and I give everyone a break from my madness for a little bit. And you can see me on Twitter, and maybe I'll jump around on a couple other live streams. But thanks for hosting, Vicky, and thanks to everyone on the panel. Thanks, Zippy, for visiting us. And you guys have been really fun, and I hope we have some really great stuff to cover next week as well on our little madness every week.
And Skinny, you are at?
I'm at Matthew Veely on Twitter. I just put it in the chat there for correct spelling. You can find me there, but you can also find me later this evening at 11 o'clock. I'll be streaming with the one and only Kevin Strange. I'll actually be unveiling the cover for my upcoming comic book, Otis Steins. Check it out.
Did you put Kevin's YouTube down in the chat?
No, it's not going to be on YouTube. He does a stream on like Facebook or something.
Oh, okay. All right.
Cool. It's fun.
Gotham, you'll find him in chats, right, Gotham?
Yeah, pretty much. I sit around in the rafters periodically listening in to everybody, the fine folks here, or I'm also, of course, invited into the chat to talk to you all fine folks. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's our secret squirrel.
He is like secret squirrel.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo, you are?
Oh, you can Lorenzo Sleestack. You can meet me. You can find me on YouTube. I did a show. I do a show every Thursday at 8 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern. Gosh. And then maybe I'll do. I might do one tomorrow night. 9 p.m. Eastern or around that time. And you can also find me as Lorenzo Sleestack, all one word, on Twitter, and Lorenzo Sleestack on Facebook.
And Zippy, thank you so much for joining us. And they can find you just on Twitter.
You can find me at my local high school girls volleyball games.
Awesome. I'll be there with you. Send me the invite.
Sounds good. Zippy the Unicorn, all one word. On Twitter.
Everybody have a great night, and thanks so much for joining us on
Thanks, guys.
I Kind of Believe.
Good night.
Good night.